decide, say, we for go pan zero teenage pregnancy campaign, where during what they give chop for more people than carry go now, we tell picking them say, do you make them not get belay, mama and dad and papa then say, make them protect them picking them, because we want all man go back to school with school reopen. So safety important. We know say we got picking them dinner house with school lock 9, then young man then and then on cool them. We not get better team for do, and because they all in the house, then self they look them picking them and then make decisions. And many of them decisions then they in the out of violence. We know say sexual and gender-based violence they on an increase globally, particularly in this period. And so we need for minimize the time where the picking them exposed them physically violent interactions in the community. So one, the school very safe. We also know, say, from Ebola lesson that no picking or no teacher not get Ebola in a school. And the school, and that because we get what's in the call school safety protocol. And the school safety protocol generally include 3 things then. Number one, we thermometer na each school from before even we lock school, so and we ensure say that each school get isolation space. They're able to find isolation space. That means say if the teacher away there before well body business at that school there, if that teacher they use in temperature in thermometer for check temperature, and the sister picking get fever when I one pound the symptom there for corona, then they take her, current go to the isolation center there, and then figure out what they do, and then all get the training. We also train with the then. We also provide before school lock hand washing station there, buckets there, Veronica buckets there for make me picking them the wash their hand as well. So each school, so school safety is very important for we, and we they interact with Ministry of Health on the school safety policy as well. That's one. And number two, we they use data. So I they talk about health data momentarily and education data. All the planning what they do so involve actual real-time data. We know all the school learners are alone. We know each school, how many picking they take exam because they work with WIEC, and we Directorate of Planning and Development get all the data then. And secondly, we they use them data then they for make decision then on what type picking then they take exam, why if they open school just now who school they need for expand. We know say double shifts now the day, so they try for make all the picking and kind side one shifts because they're not plenty. Some not some school then the few school then where they get double shifts and able to take the picking then all inside one shift, or they announce so picking another day out na school late, and then with teacher then and nobody know the day out school late. And all of this now data and evidence what they use. And that data and evidence they also include with we other country than we they inside WIEC. So WIEC and West African Examination Council, they get 5 countries than we did it. We get Salone, we get Liberia, we get Ghana, we get Nigeria, and we get Banjul. We all don't agree, and we all they engage with Chief Education Officer Dr. Yatakanu. Don't engage and engage with them. We don't decide say one we they give a tentative date for where the WASCE or WAS, the West African Senior Secondary School examination they take place, and we need for make me picking them prepare. We already know to the learning outcomes. We picking out the past plenty, and then because they know they prepare well, and so we they bring them back early such that they go prepare. So the data in the sub-region, not to Salone, more they make this decision here, actually. And if you look comparatively at the cases in the sub-region, actually Salone case low pass Ghana, a low pass Nigeria, and Liberia, the number then, and we own comparative, and Gambia, then you own number small. And if you look at the, what's they call the epidemiological curve, that means say the number of cases per day will get confirmation. The number now they go up in a Salone, and actually the data they show say the number they go down. That means say per number of tests and what they do and per population, the number of new cases they go down. So not to true say na Salone, the case just they go up, because if you look the data and if you plot on the x-axis every day, we peak apart from we know the count the instance where happening with some people then with them being we being come from Kuwait, but we peak now being around May 12, around May 12, mid-May. That then been we peak infection cases rates per day. And so we actually they go down and we use the epidemiological data. We mean say health-wise, we EOC, they put in all the measures in place for tests and for treats and for such that case. The cases them where they come out actually they're under control. The second health data where I want to talk about is the evidence don't show say transmission at then other country than where they actually not so from Peking then at school. And today I've been there on an international panel, and luckily for Salone, because Salone Education with the Trifold Turner with flagship program and we then the respectfully globally we're there on the Global Partnership for Education Board, and the data they show say school not only place where transmission they happen. Say not too from Peking then they are not the children in schools are not the primary drivers at all across the world, and we so then at the other thing where I want to talk about. So a combination of the data and we experience, and the third part where I want to talk about before I begin answer the question then, now the consultation. Now it make we pull that press release there where we've been pulled recently for where they talk about school reopening one only for examination classes. And this is very important because I don't hear say some school then they we them in don't begin they carry them picking them go school. If we as a ministry know any school where they break the regulation within the place currently, we they get sanctioned for their school and they. We as a ministry now we get the authority for give approval to schools. Now we get the authority for supervise schools in this country, and will be done say school don't lock for health reason. And if you school you feel say that you better pass other school then or other picking in this country. That means say they break the law, they break the regulation, and they break the violation. The way we've been done say the advisory. So now for stop down the one thing. If you not Cumbra, not put you picking at risk at this point, because what they make with decision as a government and as a ministry, would they consider health and all of them different in the but then they an aside before I come. So the consultation where I be wanting to talk about. We get consultation across government. We meet the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Gender, Teaching Service Commission, SLTU, Council Conference of Principals, National Head Teachers, Association of Private Schools, CSO there, and all the development partner organization there. We all meet and we agree for say picking them within a NPSC, BECE, and WAS. Now then they return to school and we give the timeline within the open. And I want to say what's important now that at the end of the day for me then take exam and then exam then they so that they go prepare now and for able to pass. Before I look to the question then I want to focus on a couple of things that are the radio teaching program we don't happen. I want to tell thank you to the Teaching Service Commission and all the teachers then where they participate, and all the community radio then in this country are within the supportable radio teaching program across, and we get messages then from all across the country where they see it reach there. So a few numbers now before our open question, because I want to use the next 45 minutes really for engage with you now. For NPSC, we get 144,960 picking there. Inside 3,952 schools across the country, and then they take NPSC. For WAS, we get 151,741 inside 549 schools we register. And then for BECE, we get about 107,901. Now then picking then they now then normal we register for take the exam then they now class 6 from 3 GSS 3 and SSS 3. Now then we say for go back to school July 1 from where school we unlock March 31st. And in terms of what's in the SLT, you say important for we for say the sanitary with school and where you get boku, where you get plenty people there. Before school been done lock, we've been done give her already with the supplies, consider for supply soap. This virus here, soap and water they kill her, right? So they pull in coats. They also they call the coating on the virus. Soap and water are very effective for the day. They help with for limit transmission levels, and with a supply, with a provide mask there for picking them and teacher them, and other PPE then for teacher then in particular as they need, and obviously with the supply and replenish thermometer then as well. So we they put all of them system then in place for make sure say we picking them and we teacher them at the same time. So must stop here. Make a look now to the question them where they come, where they get. And they ask me colleague then na station from where they text me waiting they say na 98.1 SLBC AYV wanna call their number then they and then go get answer me. One question they but inter district lockdown. And that inter-district lockdown, we did it currently. You get Boku picking them within a boarding home, then we did take exam, and people that may not travel back. We know we're aware and we'll provide solution for this. And actually, one band it's now they put in place now with the school bus, then we will go help for make me picking them travel with the school bus there. For me, then able to go safely in that school then we then come out. And I know say some of them boarding home school and they back get their own bus then and with the facilities then travel then they. With regards to the specific, would they give people enough time and would they work with EOC for ensure say people then they most side they need for the actually because they do polling almost all the time. The number not that significant, so we work with EOC on specific guidelines on this. One question we don't count now. Then they ask about how many pupils will they take MPSC, but I mean don't give that number. We say about 100 and they give to the public, yes. I mean, one part it's we don't do particularly for this for the Ministry of Education. Now, we commitment to ensuring say we they give information in due time, and I make we they get this dialogue here first of all before we lock school. 2 weeks before we lock school, we announce who they lock school March 31. We give people all the indication that enough time for me then done. We don't announce, I think, maybe 4 weeks already now since school they open July 1 for them, particularly class 6, and for JSS 3 and SS 3. So all them there where they talk about where they discuss it tonight, where they put in, and actually we chief education officer, they work on put a guideline. So we they get a press release soon. But all the things they wouldn't put in place, but we also they get a guideline where would they develop with partner then for make sure say all the teacher then get I want for